Hey everybody, welcome back to the Raw Food Muscle. I'm your host Santiago, and today we're going to be talking about vegetable seeds, an important part of growing your own food. And I want to talk a little bit about the difference between vegetable seeds and the different types of like organic seeds and heirloom seeds. But before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to my main man, Philip McCluskey. I got your shirt, baby. It came in the mail, man, and it fits. Yes. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to find a shirt that fit me because I'm like a 2X. But man, this is the bomb shirt, man, and I got much love and respect for you, man. So thank you, Philip. You are the man for hooking me up with this shirt, man. So I'm going to be sporting this bad boy everywhere I go. I'm like, yeah, man, look it out. Check it. Check it. All right. All right, real quick, I want to get into the kind of seeds that I got here. And these are some of the seeds that I have gathered. And this is something I use for storage. I put these in these containers because they're airlock containers. And it's important to keep the seeds dry. And you don't want to put them in a hot, humid place, because seeds can last anywhere from about 2 to 5 years. It really depends on how well you take care of them. So keeping them in a sealed, cool, dark place is important for longevity, okay? And now, people ask, you might not be sure what the difference between organic seeds and heirloom seeds, okay? For example, these are heirloom seeds, okay? The difference is that heirloom seeds are like the original seeds before they started spraying stuff with, herbicides, pesticides, and all the really chemically infested fertilizers. So I mean, this goes back to like, I don't know, approximately 1950 further back. I'm sorry, no, this actually goes back to like the 1800s. So it's important to know the difference between heirloom seeds and organic seeds. Not to say that organic seeds are bad, because they're also good too, and they're also treated without any types of those chemicals. So also, when you're choosing your seeds, try to make sure you try to find seeds that you know you're going to grow, okay? Don't just go out and just buy a whole bunch of seeds if you don't like, onions, or if you don't like asparagus or something like that. So just a good hint. I make sure I buy all my seeds, things I'm going to be eating, everything that I have in terms of my seeds, I plan on growing in my garden. And then the next phase from that is harvesting your own seeds, okay? And this is a bonus for anybody who's buying your own organic vegetables. You can get your own seeds from the vegetables themselves, okay? Now this is a red bell pepper. This is organic, and I have been, every time I get one of these, I make sure I get the seeds from them and let them dry out. And all you do is just basically you put them in a plate, just like this. You kind of just carefully remove them, just like that. And you basically just let them sit, okay, for, I don't know, overnight, and let them dry out, because you don't want them really moist and wet when you go to put them into its final storing container, okay? Tomatoes are a little bit more difficult, and I don't have a tomato here I'm going to show you, but I'm going to show you what I did last year. These are my Sun Gold tomatoes. They're like those little small orange, like cherry type tomatoes, but they're specifically called Sun Golds, and they're really good, by the way. I mean, I grew these things and they grow like crazy. And what I do was, because they're wet, I take the seed and I put them on the napkin, okay? Now what I do when I'm ready to use this seed, I cut it out, okay, and put the paper right in the pot with the soil in it, okay? And because this is a napkin, it'll decompose, and it's not going to harm it in any kind of way. So this is a helpful tip for y'all to harvest your own seeds. So if you're thinking about growing your own garden, growing your own tomatoes and cucumbers and everything else, try to remember that some of those vegetables you might want to let them grow a little bit past a certain point, so that the seeds get bigger, and then you can pull those seeds out and then store them for next year, okay? So really important that you use airtight containers, put them in a dark place, and in a cool place. It can't be like a room that's going to be like 80 degrees because you know, it's not going to last long. Also, you can probably store them in your fridge. You can put them in your freezer. There's lots of different. Everyone has their little different technique on how to store their seeds. So, really important part of the process of getting your seeds so you can have all the seeds you need to grow all the foods you want. Okay. So, and as we start going through these next few months, I'm going to be showing you how you grow some vegetables to seed. Okay, last year I grew some lettuces and some spinach, and they bolted. Some of them bolted, which means they grew to the point where they actually started to bear its own seed. Okay, now lettuce is a really tough one because you don't see too many places out there showing you how to actually extract the seed from the lettuce once it gets tall enough. So I'm going to be showing you things like that, but things like cucumbers, tomatoes, and things like that, a little bit easier to get the seed from. So, also, another thing I wanted to point out is when you're putting your seeds away, it's good to organize where your seeds are. For example, I have most of my greens here. These are all my lettuces. I have my spinach, my kale, my collard. So most of my greens are right in here. Okay, and let me show you this particular packet. Okay, this is an organic seed. I got this from Seeds of Change, and you can get them from anywhere. You can get them in your local store, you know, wherever is the best place for you to get them. But make sure, if you don't have something that says how deep to bury the seed, how far apart and all that kind of stuff, you might want to do a little bit of homework to figure out how deep you bury them and how long the germination is. But you know, Seeds of Change, they're really nice because it says right on the back how deep you bury it, how long the germination is. Because some of, you know, I remember last 2 years ago when I first got into this whole gardening thing, I planted my seeds and I was thinking it was going to be, you know, 1 or 2 days, and it really took like 10 days before they actually start to grow. And I didn't know that. And like by the 3rd, 4th day, I was pulling the stuff out, and I was like, I ain't doing it right. What's wrong with me? I ain't, you know. So it's like I got frustrated because I didn't do my homework. You know, I started, gotta read, man. So, but yeah, this is a really quick note. Just try to know for sure, if it doesn't say on the package, to know how far to bury the seed and all that kind of stuff. So. One more point I want to make is that if you're into the square foot gardening, go check out Bartholomew. I think that's his name. I'll put Mel Bartholomew. He's the one that, you know, really got this whole square foot gardening thing going. He's the one I got a lot of information from, and he has a whole layout on his book on when to plant it, how deep to plant it, how far apart to plant it per square foot. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all, and I'll be coming to you soon with some more gardening tips, and I'll see you next time on the Raw Food Muscle.